Now I am live. Hey, everybody. I just wanted to check in, say hello to the chat group because it's been a while. The Drew Tubers, the Zod Squad, see how everybody was doing. Definitely have a new show coming up and start doing some more regular lives again. I'm doing a show with Chris that got postponed because Chris was a little under the weather. Hopefully, he's doing better. So, shout out to you, Chris, if you tune into this. I hope you're feeling better and get your voice back. That would be awesome because I'm really looking forward to that. Hey, Bat. Hey, Patty. How does it sound? I haven't done this in a while. I need to learn how to do the countdown on StreamYard, but that'd be pretty cool. You got this. Yes, I have this. Not sure what I have, but I got this. Hey, Steven. How are you? Everybody, I'm wearing my Astros shirt, of course, celebrating the World Series win. Hey, Brant. Celebrating World Series number 2. And no, we didn't beat on trash cans and cheats time, at least not that I'm aware of. But World Series number 2. No, I didn't go to the game this time. I went to the World Series last time we won it 2017. Took my dad, got to watch this one with my dad, so that was cool. My dad's been watching baseball in Houston since he was little, and back then that was before the Astros were the Colt 45s. We were the Houston Buffaloes, and it went by the name the Houston Buffs for short. My dad used to walk to Buff Stadium where Billy Gibbons is ZZ Top, who went to my high school. His dad used to play the organ at Buff Stadium, and they built a furniture store called, it was a Finger Furniture on I-45 South, if you know Houston. And when they built that store, they kept the old location of home plate for Buff Stadium, and you could actually see exactly where home plate was because they built this furniture store around it. I think Star went out of business a few years ago, so I don't know what became of the building or the location of home plate, but that's going back in Houston. When you talk about the Houston Buffaloes, I want to get a Buffaloes jersey. I've seen a couple on eBay. They're not too easy to locate, but I want to get one because those are super cool. People like to wear Colt 45s, but I want to get a Buffs because most people, Astros fans, don't even know what that is. There's actually one, like when you go to Minute Maid, there's team pictures from all the Astros teams and the Colt 45s teams. I think there's one photo of the last year of the Buffaloes, and then it's Colt 45s, and then up to the Astros photos. But the Buffaloes were around for a while, pretty good team. But I don't even know what the league was called back then. But my dad used to have a Buffalo scrapbook, which is pretty cool. Scribble, man, what's up? Yeah, I'm the OG hanging out. Dude, we work on a Zodiac song. I got you started off with some lyrics, man. Yeah, or no, Scribble needs to make a song about a Mattress Mac. I mean, he's gangster all the way, man. You need to make dude, Scribble, man. I'm telling you, Mattress Mac is huge in Houston now. He's like got the gangster thing going after he chewed out this fan in Philadelphia for razzing him when the Astros lost that game in Philly, and was giving him grief about the Astros cheating. And man, Mattress Mac lost it on the dude. I don't know if everybody saw that, but man, that's big in Houston now, dude. Um, you should like do a rap about Mattress Mac, dude. That would be, I mean, it would sell in Houston like hotcakes. Oh, hey, Evan, I just saw you in the group. Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad you're in there. That's a good group. We're gonna try to. Um, Evan's talking about the Zodiac group that I'm in with Neil Arnold. It's Neil Arnold's group, and I talk to Neil a lot. Neil's in England. He's another UK guy who's big time into the Zodiac, and he got into it a little late, but man, he's full on. So Neil's always coming up with good stuff. He wanted me to start a group, and I just got too busy. So Neil just went ahead and did it because he was tired of like people in some of these Zodiac Facebook groups with all these crazy, insane theories and stuff like that. So he just said, I'm just going to start my own. So I'm glad you did that, Neil, because and I'm glad to have Evan in there, man. That's great. Yeah, it's growing a little bit, but we don't want it to get too big. Giants versus Texans this week's score prediction. Oh man, let me think. I don't even know how the Giants are doing, but I know the Texans are the second worst team in football, and I wish they were the worst because it's like just get it over with. Just admit you're the worst team in football, and The Texans' problem is the ownership. I mean, the McNairs is just Cal McNair owns the team now because his father passed away, and he's doing even a worse job than his father did. I mean, it's just I don't know how they can keep making such bad decisions with that team. But I'm going to predict Texans 3 and Giants 14. But they're 6-2. Oh yeah, you are overachieving. So okay, now I didn't know it's 6-2, so I'm gonna take that back. Texans 3, Giants 28. That's my prediction. So come back here after the game and see how we did. Man, the Texans are horrible. With the Astros going on and winning the World Series, no one's even thinking about it. But yeah, but now that the World Series is over and the parade's done today, everybody's gonna focus back on how bad the football team is. I don't even follow the Rockets anymore. It's just it's terrible. After I saw James Harden throw a game, I was done with him. That one where Harden said he had what was it, the flu, and he didn't even try. The guy. I don't know what was up with that. After that, I don't even trust basketball. After that game, it was just ridiculous. But serious, Scribble, man, look into Mattress Mac and do like a Mattress Mac wrap, and do like charge like $3 or $4 on for a download, and you'll be rich overnight. Man, serious, it's huge. Better not blow the 23. Yeah, like the Falcons did. No, I don't even know who like LA was who's I don't even know who's good this year anymore. I know LA's pretty good, right? And Philadelphia. Speaking of Philadelphia, yes, make more predictions. That's a good point. Make some sports predictions on Solaris' show. Solaris just has to remote view it and she'll know. She'll know exactly. But anyway, I did a Delphi show with the guys over at Life After Life, which is really good. Those guys know that case a little bit better than me, so I appreciate them bringing me on. And if you haven't seen that, go to Life After Life um, on YouTube. What is it? Life After Life, and True Crime Now is part of the title, so you can't miss it. Those guys are great. They do a great podcast. That Zodiac podcast I did with those dudes was fantastic. That's the best show I've ever done. They knew it, and I just went off to the races on that for a Zodiac show. I think that's the best recording I've ever done was on Life After Life when I did the Zodiac show. You're definitely because Scribble says he's definitely down for a Mattress Mac joint. But yo, do you plan on going back on Cooper Vortex anytime soon? Yes, I am actually. You, Bruce, and Eric are the best guests. I am planning on going back on there. There he is. All right. Life After Life, Paranormal, and True Crime. Yeah, that was a great Zodiac show. But yeah, Scribble, definitely going back on the Vortex pretty soon. But it's still unannounced what I'm going to be talking about. But there'll be somebody with me. It's going to be me, a friend of mine, and Darren. Of course, Darren's a friend too, but it's going to be two of us talking to Darren. And you definitely will know more about that when you watch my next live show because it's DB Cooper related. And being November, hopefully all that's coming up. Definitely check out Soldier of Fortune magazine, which is all online now, but they're going to be putting out a Ted Braden article. So that's going to be cool because who knows who's going to come out of the woodwork that's heard of Braden that's looking at Soldier of Fortune. These guys might not be on YouTube or whatever, but they might be on the Soldier of Fortune Facebook group, which is like they've got like 1 million. And then they get a lot of traffic to their website. So might find some ex-commandos that knew Braden and might have flush out some more Braden stories, which is my goal. And when we're talking DB Cooper, we're talking Ted Braden. It's just the same person. Sorry, all the way. Ted Braden, the most G of all the suspects. Man, I appreciate that. And we're gonna be going Braden hard into the anniversary of the DB Cooper heist coming up here this month. So we're gonna be pushing that really hard. And there's some stuff going on behind the scenes with that that I think is going to be getting even bigger, hopefully, and some Zodiac stuff coming out next year that's going to be really good. And just being patient for that because I know where that case needs something new other than new suspects. It needs some evidence type stuff coming out, which I have a good feeling is going to come out next year. But yeah, man, we got to do a Mattress Mac. Check out Scribble's DB Cooper video on YouTube too. Check out Scribble's official DB Cooper song on YouTube, which is fantastic. Evan says your friend's dad who lived in San Francisco during the Zodiac crime says he thinks it was Oh, Donald Lee Booyock. Wow, that's interesting. Does he follow the case? I don't know who's blowing up my phone. Um, I don't think it's Booyock, but he's interesting to look at for sure. Booyock definitely wasn't around for he wasn't around for Riverside at all. I think he was still in jail, but I don't think Riverside was Zodiac, so that doesn't hurt him much. But when he got out of jail, he would have had to have hightailed it to make it to Lake Herman Road. I mean, I think Booyock would have had to have driven God, like 18 hours straight to get to Lake Herman Road after he was let out of prison. That's the way I understand it. That's the way I understand it. But that's cool that he's from there and he at least has a suspect that follows it. It's really cool. So yeah, Delphi, definitely check that out. That's really interesting. Where the God was the judge recused himself already because of all the hype, and not sure why. Because I think he said it was for security reasons too. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take that work call real quick. Evan, yeah, I don't think he's right, but he definitely knows his stuff. He thinks the Zodiac was gay. Wow. He said after the Zodiac called after Lake Berryessa attack that he said he was standing outside. I guess you're still writing. The gay thing, it comes up sometimes because Richard Guykowski was gay. Dennis Land was gay. The park ranger that works in my friend Thomas Horn's theory, park ranger Land was he's gay, and I thought there was somebody else other than Geik. So it'd be kind of weird for a gay guy to be attacking heterosexual couples. I'm not sure how that would play out, but who knows? But that's cool that he likes it and he was around back then. Scribble, you had a kitty named Zodiac. He was all black. Was all black with eye that shine red in certain light. What's that song you have? Was it that's the Black Eyed Kids or whatever? The Black Eyed Kids. Am I getting that right, Scribble? Thoughts on the Dahmer series? I've only seen like a little bit of it, but the little bit I saw is really good. Uh, man, that dude that played Dahmer is right on it. I mean, that was creepy. I mean, that guy is so good. Foxy in the box. The one DB Cooper suspect, Kenny Christensen was gay. I've heard that. I've heard that he was inappropriate with some kids. Of course, they tried to claim that. I don't know if it was ever proven. And when Kenny died and his brother Lyle was there with him, some people think that. Well, of course, Lyle thought he was going to confess to being DB Cooper, but other people think he may have was going to confess to his brother that he was gay. So I've heard it. I've heard it both ways, but. Um, I think Lau kind of got caught with his hand in the cookie jar trying to make some money off of the whole Cooper deal with Kenny Christensen. I never thought Kenny was a bad suspect, by the way. I thought the Brad Meltzer show was really good. There was a lot of good circumstantial stuff around Kenny. He always had, he definitely had some money by the time he died. I mean, he had a coin collection worth a lot. Uh, he had that house he bought and all that kind of stuff. I mean, some of this stuff was a little overblown when they were trying to make him into a better suspect, but um, Scribble, I'll run the Kenny story by chasing the doe. Yes, he did. He chased the doe on something. I can't remember. It was after the book. It was something. I think it was he was trying to pitch a TV show or something, and he was really trying to like cash in on it. But my deal with Kenny is just man, he only had static line training during World War II. He never went into combat, and he hated static line parachuting. He wrote a letter to his back home about how much he hated it. So this guy's going to free fall out of a 727. I don't know. I mean, he worked for the airline. That's interesting. You think somebody would have noticed him though? I mean, it's Kenny, robbing his own airline. Yes, the Brad Meltzer show was really good. All the Brad Meltzer shows were good. I think my favorite was the one with Alex Jones when he goes back to the Bohemian Grove. Did you see that one, Red? Where the Alex Jones is, of course, Alex Jones famously broke into the Bohemian Grove and saw the cremation of care with the owl and like George Bush and everybody surrounding the owl, worshiping the owl and stuff. So Meltzer did a show about that, and they brought Jones back out to the Bohemian Grove, up there in I think that's in Sonoma County, not Napa. I think it's Bohemian Grove's in Sonoma County near Napa in the wine, deep in the wine country, but it's all surrounded and stuff like that. But they brought Alex Jones out there again to show what was going on, and then a couple people on Meltzer's crew, and I think Jones as well, got like in a boat, and then they went down to like the edge or something, and they started getting onto the property of the Bohemian Grove, which I don't know how many acres it is, but it's pretty big, and there's security everywhere. But they got intercepted immediately. Called the cops. They sent Jones and a couple of people of Meltzer's people that did the show got arrested. Yep, that's right. The cast of the show got arrested. Said Red. Yeah, I remember that one. That was good. That one in the Confederate goal was really good. Steven, do you concur with Thomas Horan that police said there's more than one body found at Lake Herman Road pump house turnout in the 60s? One more than one body? Oh, do you mean bullet? I'm not sure what you mean by body. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I'd have to ask Tom about it, but you might be. I don't know. I know there was a theory about an extra bullet there, which is covered on Richard Grinnell has a YouTube video about the extra bullet. What's it called? Like the 2-to-1 ratio or something on Richard's channel about the extra bullet at Lake Herman Road. Man, Lake Herman Road is so small, but you definitely get that creepy Zodiac vibe there when I was standing there at Lake Herman Road. Because, well, the exact spot at Lake Berryessa, I think, is already underwater, so you can't even go there. And obviously Blue Rock Springs, we don't know where that exactly where Darlene was parked that night, but Lake Herman Road, you could stand right there where that crime happened, and it's just such a creepy feeling. I meant to go back there at nighttime, but I didn't. I was there during the day, but you just get a really odd vibe knowing that that's where the whole thing started. Maybe there was an earlier crime in Lake Herman Road, but that's definitely where the Zodiac got on the map was Lake Herman Road, and it's just a really weird feeling. But when you leave Lake Herman Road and you go to Blue Rock Springs, I mean, it's amazing how close it is. So it's hard to believe that those two aren't linked. Some people think maybe these two crimes are Zodiac, the other two he was just taking credit for, but it's just 4 minutes up the road and hang a right, and you're at Blue Rock Springs from Lake Herman Road, which is kind of weird. But you don't really realize that till you go there. But no, I never heard anything about bodies at the pump house, but you might be talking about that extra bullet, which I can't remember what Richard calls that, but that, who knows, man? Some people think maybe that if that's Cheney and Allen, maybe, Allen took a shot just to get his feet wet, maybe Allen took that one last shot. He said, no, Horn said he interviewed former officers, deputies, and read police reports stating that before the Zodiac murders, dead people were found there. I don't remember that. But that's interesting. I wonder when that was. I'll have to ask him about it. No, I didn't know that. I'd never heard that before. That dead bodies were found I think the pump house was further down. I mean, you have like the turnout, and then it's blocked. It's still blocked to this day. And then you go further down to where the pump house is. But I don't know. Maybe a Horn was saying they were right there where Betty Lou and David Faraday were killed. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. That's interesting though. I've never heard that. Evan, want to go to the Zodiac sites one day? Yeah, it's cool, man. Just you should. Um, you swear Don Cheney will resurface and come get you. He might, man. Look out. Look out, man. Don's devious. Go watch. His name was Arthur Lee Allen again. And Steven said just the turnout. No, I never heard that. I'll have to ask Tom about that, where he got that from. I've never seen it though, but it's definitely interesting. But I guess it's never been linked to the Zodiac, um, without a doubt. The pump house sounds like a good place to dump a body. Yeah, I mean, it's from what I know. I only went there in the daytime, but it's like what's his face? Graysmith says in that video, it's pitch dark out there. And I'm sure it is. I mean, even though I was there at the daytime, there's no lights out there anywhere. I mean, it's just a little cut through from Benicia to Vallejo. There is nothing out there. In fact, I missed the site the first two times I probably went down Lake Herman Road. I mean, if it wasn't marked on one map, said like Zodiac site, literally on one map, it would have been really hard to find. There's another turnout that looks almost exactly like the real one. It's just a little bit bigger, and I think the fence is a little different, or there's part of like a rail fence at the wrong one, and without it being on a map, it's hard to find. It's a small little place, but it's pitch black at night. Uh, it's odd that would have ever even been a lover's lane. It's just so. I mean, maybe that's why. I mean, you'd be totally off the radar over there. Scribble, why do you think that? What do you think of the theory that Hitler never died but escaped to Argentina? Totally believe it. Um, I don't know. I mean, who was the guy that was down that they found? Was it in Argentina? The guy that did the twins? Who is that? Help me out, Patty. I know you know. Was that Himmler? Now, who's the guy that did? Who was the SS guy that did the thing with the twins? That was experimenting on the twins. He was down in Argentina, wasn't he? Somewhere in South America, they found him and some other Nazis. I'm surprised those nuts who claim DB Cooper is the Zodiac hasn't linked DB Cooper to the Delphi murders. That's true. I think I don't remember that guy's name. He's got DB Cooper, Zodiac, and also killed John Bonet. Joseph Goebbels. Thank you, Fire Pixie. Fire Pixie. I think Fire Pixie was into Delphi. Delphi will be interesting how that turns out. I think this guy, he was off the radar. I mean, talk about these crimes. This guy was under the radar. I mean, he was right there in Delphi all along, working at the CVS, processed the photos of some of the two girls. For like I think it was, I don't know if it was for posters or for a memorial for the girls, but the guy actually processed those photographs for the family, for a family member of Abby and Libby. I mean, how creepy is that? The guy was there. He was part of the search party for the two girls. That day was February 14th, 2017, and they went missing on the 13th, I think, Abby and Libby, and they found their bodies the next day. And that creep that's arrested for it was part of the search party. How weird. I mean, he was around there the whole time. I mean, this guy Rick Allen. I mean, who knows how that's going to turn out? And people are wondering if he was connected to Kagan Klein, the guy that was catfishing the girls that day and using a fake photo of a model and trying to get them to send nude pictures or something. And then that winds up being the day that they're murdered the next day. I don't know if they even if released it, if they know the exact time that they were murdered, but how creepy. I mean, you talk about the guy who's absolutely hiding in plain sight. Delphi's a small little town, and this guy's working right in the middle of little downtown area at the CVS as a pharmacy tech. And then before that, I guess he just did whatever at that CVS, but everybody in the town kind of at least knew the guy in passing from working at that CVS. And there he was, the killer, all these years, 5 years trying to figure out who this guy is, and he's right there. Yeah, Mangala. I don't think Hitler made it down there though. I gotta disagree with this scribble. I don't think Hitler made it out. I think Hitler died right there with Ava Braun and the dog. What was the name of his dog? Forgot the name of his dog. Didn't they kill the dog too when they committed suicide? Or did the dog live? I can't remember when Hitler and Ava Braun committed suicide. Wasn't the dog with him? I'm sure it was a German Shepherd, no pun intended, but I think it was actually. Um, who had Parkinson's? Apparently, he had Parkinson's. Hitler killed himself. He's not Epstein. They poisoned the dog. Yeah, that's what I thought. They poisoned the dog. So they poisoned the dog and then they killed themselves. Blondie, that's right. See, I knew you would know. The dog was named Blondie. Oh, Hitler did. Okay. Hitler had Parkinson's? Is that what you said? Hey, Gonzo. Thanks, man. Gonzo, I saw your photos earlier, man. I don't know how you do what you do, bro. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, I saw that. I mean, that your knee surgery, that is crazy, bro. I mean, but I know you, as soon as that heals up a little more, you're going to be out there like jumping off of cliffs and walking on your hands, and all these beautiful places. That's it. That, I mean, I don't know. They need to make a movie about you, Gonzo. We got to get that going. Maybe we'll have Pope Valentine write the script, and I'll get into the action somehow. I'll direct it. You have Poe write it. I'll direct it, and it's going to be called Going Gonzo. Starting with your recovery, man. That's insane, dude. I don't know how you do that, man. Those pictures you put up, I was just like, I didn't even know what to say. That looks like it hurts, man. Have you seen the video of Hitler tweaking on Crystal? I've heard about it. Rogan played it on the podcast. Yeah, I heard about Joe Rogan playing that clip. Cesar Cedeno, Jose Cruz, and Bob Watson. Thanks, Mark. Oh, I remember Cesar Cedeno and Jose Cruz. Remember J.R. Richard? And J.R. Richard was like one of the best Astro pitchers ever. I mean, this guy was on it. I mean, he was great. And then I don't remember how many years ago, 10, maybe it could have been as much as 15 years ago. The dude was living under a bridge in Houston. No one even knew it. I mean, one of the best pitchers we ever had winds up living under a bridge, totally homeless. And I think someone finally recognized him, like, that's J.R. Richard, like the old Astros pitcher. And they I guess got him help and he got back on his feet. I don't know what became of him, but he was literally living under a bridge, homeless, after being one of the best pitchers that the Astros ever had. I mean, he was great. That's when when I was coming up, I was watching J.R. Richard. Bob Hope was the Zodiac. It could have been. He was stocky. Yeah, man, the Stros pulled it off. Evan, I believe you have stuff. You have stuff. Is yours and Tom Horns. What are the similarities and connections you may think between the two? I don't know, but we'll find it. Tom and I love going down the rabbit hole. Can be connected. You know what? I'd say the first person that Tom and I would connect on, and a lot of people would in Zodiac, is going to be Paul Avery. I mean, I think he would agree with me that all roads go through Paul Avery. I mean, good, bad, or ugly. It's just no, I don't think Paul Avery was in on it at all. I just think that he somehow is the center of the Zodiac universe, like the Slobo to China letter. Why Avery get that? Why does Avery get the tip about Riverside? Why does he get that? Why does the Zodiac single out Avery? I know that Tom was impressed when I found that Avery and Cheney went to the same tiny junior college in 1952. I think that definitely he liked that find. But I'd say Avery, for sure. And I've looked into a lot of his stuff too with Dennis Land. I've always said, why did Dennis Land remove the crime scene in Lake Berryessa? That makes no sense. I mean, Dennis Land was an ex MP. He should have known better. Why did he remove the crime scene? For that alone, there deserves to be a hoax theory for the fact that he removed the blanket of items and took it back to the ranger station. I don't understand why he did that. You saw an episode of Monk last night and had tons of Zodiac reference, huh? I'll have to check that out, man. No one's told me that. I wonder if Dave Varanchek have seen that, because Varanchek is great about finding every mention, especially the ciphers. If they mention the ciphers, Dave Varanchek's not going to miss that. Of course, he led the team that broke the 340, but he does those videos where he goes back and finds all the Batman references and stuff where, they found the Mikado reference in one of the Batman shows back in the day that he thinks that may have influenced the Zodiac with all the comics, Tim Holt, and a lot of superhero Batman stuff. It's built into the Zodiac. The Zodiac was modeled after a comic book type character or persona. It's totally believe it. Part Tim Holt, part Batman, part no, I didn't know that was in Monk. I'm gonna have to go look for that. Any Yuba County 5 updates? You know, I'll tell you this, Big B, there was something that I missed in the police files, and it could it may or may not. I don't even know if I can say it or not. What the hell? If you know the case pretty well, I talk about Joe Shones a lot. He was the principal witness to the boys, and he's probably, supposedly the last person that saw the boys that night. If his story's true, he's the drunk guy that lived up that way near the Plumas National Forest and Berry Creek. But I'll just say this: I got to be careful how I say it because I'm talking about somebody that's still alive. But someone connected to Joe Shones, closely connected to Joe Shones, um, got arrested for I'll just say taking people, put it like that. And I didn't realize that till I read, went back to the files and read that. And I was like, wow. I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with the boys going missing, but it's pretty eye opening that someone very close to Joe Shones um, took people. I mean, and around that time that the boys went missing. So I think that lead needs to be run down for sure. So that's an update that haven't told really anybody. Maybe just Tony. I mentioned it too. So that's something that needs to be looked at. And also, we looked into their coach. His name came up because I was told. I don't know if Tony found this or Tony Dunn in the UK told me that they were talking about the boys coach on a message board where he didn't show up that day that they were going to go play the Special Olympics game either. And they're like, well, why isn't the coach in here? So I think that cast some suspicion on their coach. And the theory is that their coach was also at the game in Chico that night. And he was dating, he was married, but he was dating another woman that apparently the wife didn't know about. And that maybe the boy saw him with the other woman and he thought they were going to, go tattle on him. So he did away with the boys or caused them to go up into there and into the forest and get lost. So that's another theory out there. I don't put a whole lot into that one, but there's a lot of. Mark, did you find much about Cheney's life after his wife left him or the reason she left? No, I mean, that's not really stated anywhere. I from what I know, he basically lived alone after she left. I'm not even sure if he was in Connecticut for a long time after they didn't get officially divorced till I think 87, and it was in the state of Connecticut. And of course, he winds up staying on the West Coast, and he dies alone living in Benton City, Washington. He was out on his porch on a cold night, and I don't know what happened. He fell off his porch or something and he couldn't get up. He had cancer at the time too. Cheney had cancer. I don't know what kind and I don't know how advanced it was, but he wasn't doing really well physically and he fell off his porch on a cold night. It was November and Benton City's pretty cold. And he wound up literally freezing to death in his yard. Sure, no problem, Mark. Hey, Gunslinger. Oh, I haven't heard from you in a while. You're still in the Bay Area, right? I was thinking about you the other day because for some reason, this pesky Larry Kane is a Zodiac suspect won't go away. Oh my God, Larry Kane is terrible. But I'm not going to say who told me, but apparently, of course, Larry Kane is the product of, oh gosh, Harvey Hines. Ex-police officer Harvey Hines created this horrible Zodiac suspect called Larry Kane. Oh my God, go away. Go away, Larry Kane. You're terrible. Too short to be Zodiac, too Brooklyn to be Zodiac, a million other things. But Harvey Hines is the one that started that whole thing with Larry Kane, and it just never stopped. And of course, that's all tied to Donna Lass. Donna Lass, it was never found. Okay, this wasn't a Zodiac victim where the victims weren't moved. Donna Lass was never found. She was taken. Who knows? She might be buried somewhere. I mean, I know the letters and the Pines card, but I don't think Lass was that. And that's Hines was just trying to tie it in. But something interesting, someone told me that if you ever brought up the name Don Chaney around Harvey Hines, he would get livid, livid. Two different people that weren't even connected to each other told me that. Why would Harvey Hines get so upset by just mentioning Don Chaney? I don't know. That fascinates me though. I mean, I don't know what. Of course, Harvey Hines has passed away years ago, and but he's the one that brought up the whole Larry King crap. Doer, who asked about Clockmaster acts about Doer. Doer's not terrible. Um, I know a lot of fellow guys I know in the Zodiac world don't really like him at all. And that he comes about, but some of the circumstantial stuff's pretty interesting. I still have yet to see a really good photo of him. I've never seen what his height or his weight. People say maybe every picture I've seen around this time of Doer, he's got a mustache. Did he have a mustache during any of the Zodiac crimes? I don't know. He doesn't look stocky to me at all. And you got to like figure that out. Was he wearing thick clothes? Because every witness to the Zodiac said he was some form of stocky. That's everybody. That's Mougeot. That's Cecilia. That's Brian. That's the Robbins kids, and that's Falk. Every witness to the Zodiac had some form stocky, barrel chested, beefy build, Mike Mougeot. Every one of them. So what's he just wearing thick clothes on it for every witness? Doer looks kind of thin to me. That's one of the first things that comes. But some of the circumstantial stuff is better than Kane. Well, no doubt. I think Doer's far better than Kane or Sullivan that people won't let go of. So, I know a lot of people are saying, well, with Doer, they need to check the prints or whatever. I'm telling you right now, it's never going to happen. You could call San Francisco Police Department all day long. They are not going to look at him. They are not going to drag out the fingerprint partials from the Stein cab or the Napa phone booth. It's not going to happen. I mean, so my prediction with Doer is he's just going to fade away. He might keep someplace somewhere, but I think he's just going to fade away. And people always come back around. And I know they hate to do it sometimes, but this is a Cheney Allen deal. Sorry, this is where it's always been. I've never changed suspects. I've always believed this is two guys for whatever reason cooked this up and did it. And started with the correspondence, and then something happened between these two men, and they had a falling out somewhere along the line, and things just stayed where they were. He said Mougeot pointed out ALA in the lineup. Yes, he did. Mougeot pointed out ALA in the lineup. Remember, Mougeot had a flashlight in his face and even admits that he did not get a Zodiac. And remember, that whole thing with him pointing out Allen that's when George Bauer gave him the test of looking at these guys. And Bauer really wanted to solve it. He wanted to solve the case. Even Donald Falk says that when he was showing the pictures of Allen to Donald Falk, and he was really like, hey, what about this one? This one over here, Arthur Lee Allen. And of course, Falk said, no, the guy I saw wasn't near as big as Allen. But I think that's what happened with Mike Mougeot. I think Bauer gave him a hot meal and a six pack, and he picked him out. Remember, I mean, Mougeot said 5'8". Allen's 6 feet all day long, and Allen's a big guy. Allen was big. I mean, he was probably pushing 270 and every bit of 6 feet. So, Mougeot said 5'8", Allen 6 feet. So where do you go with that? I don't know. I think Mougeot just wasn't a good witness because the flashlight, he was being shot up. It was nighttime. I never put much into the Allen ID from him at all. Local channel there doing a story on the Zodiac. Talked to the reporter. Oh, wow, you did. Very interesting. Should be coming out soon. Spoke with him last month. So send me the link when that comes out. I want to see that. I think there is truth that he and Cheney did the crimes. I just don't think I don't think Mougeot. Thanks. I don't think Mike Mougeot got a good look at him at all. I actually read that account again today. He said that he just wasn't sure he's being shot up. I mean, he lunged in the back seat, had flashlight immediately. He was still getting his wallet out because they thought it was police. You're not enthralled with the Son of Sam or the Zodiac, but the Yuba County Five is fascinating. It is. I love that case. Yeah, there is no answer, but there's so many there's a lot of loose ends on Yuba County 5. I mean, there's just a lot of things that there's two people. I'll put it this way: there's two people that are still alive. I'd love to talk to about Yuba County 5, but I don't think they're willing to talk. There's two people, and people know who those two are. If Alan did Blue Rock, I don't know. Anything's possible. I always said that we just don't know about Lake Herman Road and Blue Rock. I firmly believe that Berryessa and Stein were absolute Zodiac. I know people like to say Berryessa would have been a copycat. I don't think so. That's the one where he's wearing the hood. He's wearing the cross circle. That is Zodiac. He's seen the role. If anything was a copycat, it was Blue Rock or Lake Herman Road. I tend to think it was all the same of all four, but the first two we just don't know. I don't think we'll ever know, but it's possible. I mean, it's crazy. And I can tell you this from going to the old IHOP restaurant in Vallejo and going there from Arthur Lee Allen's house. I mean, you could just take 40 steps from Allen's house and you're at that IHOP where Darlene worked for a good time. She wasn't working there when she was murdered. She was at Terry's Waffles house, but she worked at that IHOP by Allen's house for a while. I mean, I think a couple of years. That's where she met Dean Farron and her husband at the time. And there's no way that Allen didn't know her in passing, or Cheney for that matter. Hey, Ross. Thanks, man. Rick, Rick. Oh, Rick. Yeah, you Rick. I've been on there before. Your friend Rick. Yeah. That's the guy in Canada, right? Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. Tell him I said hi. I'll have to go check that out. Is it already up on YouTube? Yeah, it's no longer an IHOP. It's a Mexican food place. I ate there. It wasn't half bad. I mean, I'm from Texas. We have the best. We have Tex-Mex. You can't beat it. But the Mexican food at that restaurant, I don't remember the name of it, but you'll see it in my video. It's actually pretty good. And that's a little bitty, the old style, IHOP, and now it's all painted for a Mexican food restaurant. But the same, I mean, nothing's changed other than the paint, same building. But it was creepy just sitting there, knowing I was sitting where maybe Arthur Lee Allen had a few meal too many. So Ross, you're still working on you're going to do the Gaviota, right? I know you were just up. Speaking of being at the sites, Ross was just up there at the Presidio. Those were some cool pictures. I was a live local show in Canada. Oh, okay. So that wasn't his YouTube, it was his radio show. So it wasn't like simulcast on his YouTube? I'll have to check that out. Which episode would be the best to watch about the Yuba County 5? Have you heard the Mopac podcast, the Yuba podcast? I'd recommend watch. I'd recommend. Yeah, Ross said Gaviota coming soon. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, you got the Sea Waters to participate. Hopefully, the Sea Waters signed some NDAs, bro. And the Sea Waters are coming out for the filming, man. Yeah, check out. It's called Yuba Podcast. It's by Mopac Audio. That whole, if you like Yuba County 5, I don't know, you missed it. Well, it's still available. That's the good news. Listen to every one of those. It's great. I'm in there. Tony Doug Wright is in there. It was done by a lady named Shannon McGarvey, and she's fantastic. And I mean, this stuff was being put together before I even got into the case because they were going to make a film, and then the film got scrubbed due to COVID. So they gave it to their podcast division, all their material, which was the police files. They had interviews with Jackie Hewitt's father, who's since passed away, but he's in the podcast talking about being up there searching for the boys. That whole series is great. It's called Yuba Podcast. Can't miss it. I think there's 7 episodes, and then I think not the very last, but the second to last, it's all theories, and it's me, Shannon, and Tony Wright just going over what we think happened. And that episode turned out great. They're all great. They're all great. Thanks, Gunslinger. Yeah, let me know about that. Yeah, definitely know. Let me know about when that local show comes out because I know you're in the Bay Area, and if I remember, you knew George Bauer, which is very interesting. I would have loved to have known George Bauer. Sure, yeah, it's on Apple, it's on iHeart, it's on everything. Yeah, yeah, we got to talk about that some more sometime. Bauer seems like a good guy to me. He really did, and he was suspicious of Don Chaney, no doubt about it. He's the one that wanted to. He's the one that got Cheney polygraphed. And that's when Cheney got hammered drunk the day before the polygraph. That's when he started thinking maybe this guy had a little more to do with it. Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. I do think he really wanted to close the case on Allen though, and he just couldn't do it. You couldn't alienate Cheney to be able to do it. That's I think that's kind of like John Bonet. You know, you can't really separate John from Patsy, and I think that's kind of similar with Zodiac. It's hard to separate two people that you don't know who did what and who did the other part and where they came together. I think that made it harder. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Gaviota for sure, but only if the Seawaters only if you get the Seawaters to be part of it. Tell the story about Alan coming back to the car covered in blood. He didn't think about washing his shirt off in the beach. I know I give them a hard time, but the Seawater seem like pretty decent people. I did plug Dave's song. I told him I like that song, "Stranger." It kind of fit Arthur Lee Allen pretty well. He was definitely a stranger. Oh, thanks. Regarding the judge from the Delphi case, he said he feared for his life. Yeah, he's like scared because there's so much public, you know, publicity and anger out there about what happened to those girls. He said the bloodlust for information on this case has me fearing for the safety of myself and my family. That's crazy, but it's true because that story's international now. Um, and they just want to know. I mean, now we have a name, and I mean, people can't be calm about that. Let the system work. The worst thing that could happen is this goofball gets off on some technicality, because everybody's scared or they're. I mean, I heard that they're flooding the court or wherever the jail wherever they're holding Allen, and it just goes on and on and on. Like you can't even answer your phone because people are going. People need to calm down and let that thing play itself out. I mean, we don't want to see this guy get off. I mean, yeah, we definitely want to know if there's more people that were involved with him. Maybe if it was the Kleins or not, who knows? But man, don't jeopardize it. It's coming up, Uncle Jim. It's coming up. That's with Chris, and Chris got sick, so we're no later than next Saturday, maybe before, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I'll put it out as soon as I know. Drew and Tom will jump down any rabbit hole. This is why we love them. Yeah, thanks, Gonzo. There's not a bridge you won't jump off of either. But man, I know Gonzo, you were on the I was gonna ask you, Gonzo, since you've been on the Modern High Bridge, is that something that only a local I mean, I know you've been on it, but you're a crazy daredevil. But did you have to be a local to know how to walk on that bridge? I heard that you did. Did you have to be a local? I mean, was it like so weird that you'd have to kind of like know how that bridge was laid out? Because whoever predicted that there was local, they got it right. Because a lot of people that thought that Delphi, but no, he was a local. Yeah, the Delphi sleuths are crazy. That's why I mean, you guys know it better than I do, and I know you guys covered it more. But um, man, I was afraid to do anything on it. People would like attack me or something from everywhere. The seawater interview, yes, of course. No, Clockmaster, not really any new books right now because everything that I'm doing is kind of taking on a life of its own. So it's just been so busy. It's just so much work to do. Definitely, I'm gonna be doing a paper with my editor though. It's a Zodiac. I'm just call it a paper, like a dissertation for a very prestigious publication. I'll just put it to you that way. So that'll be coming out soon. And then the Braden article is coming out in Soldier of Fortune, which is any day. Yeah, Delphi is now industry. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's insane. But we want to see if this guy's guilty. We want to see him see him go down for it. That guy Gray, he does a lot of that Delphi stuff, man. I mean, he had some stuff right. He did. I mean, he did wall to wall Delphi, but I think we never figured out if Allen was 5'4", did we? Because someone said it was 2 inches and that he was 5'6", and then it came out again that his booking thing or that FBI agent said he was 5'4". We wonder if that ever got straightened out. I mean, I'd just be shocked if he was that short and no one caught it. That's short for anybody. I mean, I thought I was short at 5'7", but 5'4", man. I mean, weren't trying to subdue those two girls. I mean, it might have been some work for somebody that small, even if he was a lot stronger. He's 5'7", really? I wonder how that keeps getting screwed up. So we finally got that. Yeah, from pictures, he looks 5'7". 5'4", there's no way. I mean, he would have stuck out. But he was part of the search party, right? Yeah, Mark said 5'7" too. I don't know where the 5'4" thing came from. I guess that one booking photo. There was a new photo of him today I saw, put out just a couple hours ago from jail. But they say he's not talking at all, which no shock there. I wonder if they know with what they have, but I guess they got to go through all the motions. But I wonder if he's got a lawyer yet, or if he's getting a public defender. I don't even know. Do you guys know if he's got a lawyer? His name is on the registry for the search party. Okay. But no one knows. Probably hanging in the back. Yeah, that's true. I agree. Even if you're innocent, you don't say a word and you get a lawyer. True. And I guess don't take a polygraph. We'll see what happens with this guy, man. What a creep. At least we have somebody. Something happened. Haven't heard about his counsel. Yeah. Um, it'll be interesting how it plays out and if the clients are involved or not. About that show. It's really good. But yeah, that's it for now. I just wanted to check in with everybody. But that show again's coming up with Chris. It is a DB Cooper show. So yeah, I'm sure he has a lawyer too. Hopefully we'll do that in a couple days. Chris, if you're listening, let me know and we'll get that going because that's going to be a really great show. Andrew, wonder police keep info back. Yeah, I'm sure they did. They've always had information on Delphi from the beginning. The police always kept to themselves just in case they ever did find the guy. Now they did. So maybe that's what paid off is what they never released to the public. And no one knows. I mean, from the very beginning, they always said they had a lot that never really leaked. I think some text messages got leaked early on that said some different things, but for the most part, they never leaked. So credit to them that whatever they were holding in the Delphi case, they never let it get out. All right, that does it for me. But be looking out for that show. Maybe we might even do it tomorrow, but it's going to be no later than Saturday, the one with Chris. So definitely check that out, and should be really good. Thanks, Uncle Jim. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some DB Cooper because it's November, so we're going to be going into it deeply. Bye, Fire Pixie. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.